Hey y'all, it's Mama. I'm going to start this out by saying I have no legal training of any, not any official stuff. I've always been one to do my research. I'm super into research. I think the more informed you are, the better. I want to know everything, and I'm pretty sure that's where the majority of my anxiety has stemmed from, is because I need to know everything. I want to know what's going on. Now, the only way to truly be informed is to look up as much as you can, as many different sites as you can. Go to the library, do what you gotta do, look up the stuff that you need to look up. The biggest thing that's being talked about right now is the Britney Spears conservatorship. And I kind of felt like I needed to touch on it because as a woman who has had mental health issues, I feel it is important to shed light on the things that I've been through and the things that I've kind of noticed. I 100% agree with the whole Free Britney stuff because she is a person. She's not putting anybody in danger. I mean, if she is safe enough to have her children, then I feel she is safe enough to control her own things. I mean, she's allowed to have consultants. That is your right as a human being to be able to control what you do. I personally believe a lot in free choice, so long as you are not a threat to any person or living thing. This is going to be the first time that I have ever, I guess, publicly put it out there for the world to see. I have some mental health issues myself. Just under a year ago, actually it was Mother's Day weekend of 2020, I was in a mental hospital because I felt like everybody's life would be better if I just wasn't around. It was never I'm too weak for this. It was me being a burden to everybody, and I felt like I just needed to relieve people of me as a burden in their life. Now, a lot of that had to do with my ex-husband and just how toxic we were for each other. I'm not blaming anybody. We just were not right for each other, and we've learned that, hence why he is my ex-husband. And I was on medication for a while. I saw a therapist for a little while. Now again, this was all during COVID. I had so much that I was going through with COVID and having lost 2 really good jobs. And I was, I had just moved from Arizona to Virginia. And it just, every time I thought that I was helping the people around me, I felt more and more like the opposite was true sometimes. And it weighs on you. My ex-husband called the local police. They came. I was taken to the emergency room via fire truck, and that's where I went. I went to the emergency room and they put me on an IV fluid, and I talked to Yak, and I also had my other best friend who, between the two of them, made sure that I wasn't alone even though I was there by myself. And I am so very thankful for those 2 people. Like, you don't even know how thankful I am for them. But one thing that I learned, again, I do live in the state of Virginia. I know every state is different. They all have their own laws. But I've kind of realized that, for the most part, they seem to be pretty consistent. And that is, I had no control over what happened to me next. I was asked if I would voluntarily go and be in a mental hospital for, I think they said 5 days. It could be up to 5 days is what they said. And I told them that no, I did not want to do that. I was fine with getting help. It wasn't that I didn't want help. I needed help. I knew I needed help. But again, it was Mother's Day weekend. And I had just moved. Not even a week. I had moved in on Saturday, and this was a Wednesday. And so, please, if you have an outpatient thing, I will happily take outpatient, but I don't want to be away from my children on Mother's Day weekend. That is not what I want to do. Well, they agreed that I needed help. That was all we agreed on. And from then on, it was up to my then husband and my doctors to decide what was best for me. And I can understand this if I was a risk to either my children or any other human being. I wasn't even really a risk to myself at this point. But it really opened my eyes to what people with mental illness truly go through. And it's really hard to ask for help when you know that the moment you ask for help, you have no control over what happens to you. Obviously, I've never had a conservatorship over myself. I've never had anybody try to take control of my life and make decisions for me, which I'm very thankful for. For the majority of the last 8.5, almost 9 years, I have been a stay-at-home mom. My oldest just turned 8 a few months ago. And so, when I found out I was pregnant, I had already been out of work for a while because I was only seasonal and I was trying to find somewhere else to work, and it wasn't working out for me. And, we were able to afford it, that I was able to stay home and watch our daughter and focus on being pregnant and taking care of myself, my family, whatever. I'm very thankful for that. Not a lot of people get to have that, because with everything, times are tough, and I am thankful for that time that I was able to do that. So I've always been fully capable of taking care of myself and doing things. But that being said, Brittany. Oh, Brittany. It's so hard to ask for help, to show that you truly need that help. And a lot of people like to use her as a punchline. If anybody can survive 2007, like Brittany did, then we're good. If Brittany can survive 2007, you can survive anything. And well, yeah, I do agree. I agree that if Brittany can survive everything that she was thrown at such a young age. I mean, she started Mickey Mouse Club at 10 years old. 10 years old, she started working. And it's just, if she was that capable, and she went through so much, why not let her? She literally said, anybody but my dad. She did not want her dad to be the person who was in charge of her life. And as somebody who is estranged from their dad and has had, at the best of times, a rocky relationship with their dad basically since the beginning, I can understand that. But I also know that my dad would only put my best interest at heart. And I've had way more of a relationship with my dad than it seems Brittany has ever had with her. So it didn't make sense to me why a judge would allow her father, of all people, to be in control of her life, her finances, letting her go and do things, being able to do something as simple as hey, this person isn't allowed on your property. And it's just, it hurts my heart as a daughter, as a mother, as a woman. It's just, it's so hard for us to just exist sometimes and to truly ask for help, because, especially if you're a mom, if you're a stay-at-home mom, how dare you say you need help? You asked for this. This is what you got into. Oh dear, I am a Navy spouse who is also a stay-at-home mom. So I had nothing I could complain about because you knew what you were getting into when you married him. No. You don't know what you're getting into until you live it. And it's just, I know, I feel like at this point I'm just rambling. But it's just, I feel like there's a lot of things that I can kind of get from her. You know, she's a very hard worker. She is very dedicated. That was one of the things that people said about her even at the young age of 15. That she knew what she wanted. She didn't let people control her. And now to have her father have all say in what happens to her. She didn't even disagree that she needed somebody to help and to control things. She just didn't want it to be her dad. And the fact that the courts ignore that so blatantly is just insane. And, we don't know what those medical records say. We don't know everything. We don't know the story. But as somebody who has lived something somewhat similar, and to have no control over where you are, and, I didn't commit any crimes. I did nothing wrong. I had a moment of weakness. I got walked out of the emergency room in handcuffs. I have never been in handcuffs. It's not a feeling I like. And I am massively claustrophobic. So to be handcuffed when you're already at a low point, to be handcuffed and thrown in the back of a cop car. I don't know if any of you have ever been in the back of a cop car, but they are not the most comfortable thing. My knees were up against the wall because it's a wall at that point. And it was just so demoralizing. And I had to go to court to basically ask if I could be released. I missed Mother's Day with my children because they said so. And, it's just, it's hard to be at a vulnerable spot like that and to have anybody take advantage of that. So I can't imagine how hard it must be for Brittany to have her father, of all people, take advantage of her. And it's just, I'm so sorry, Brittany. There are so many questions that have been asked, and people are just refusing to answer them at this point, and I really hope you get the help you need. And I guess that's it. I want you to get the help you need, Brittany. You have made it known that, yes, you did need the help. You're not saying you don't need help. You just want help on your terms, which, isn't that a basic human right? At this point, so what if I want to give all of my money to somebody? That's my choice. It's my money to do with. I earned that money. I did what I could with that money. That is my money. So, why does it matter? If you feel that bad, set up a trust fund for her kids. Put money aside for them. But at this point, she's paying her own adult babysitter to tell her what to do. And it's wrong. It's so wrong. I don't understand why this is a thing. Alzheimer's runs in my family, so I know what it's like to be around people who just aren't in their right mind and they can't control anything. They're not there. They don't know what's going on. So many times I had to explain to my grandma who I was. And I get in extreme cases, like mentally disabled people, or extremely disabled people who can't do anything. But usually those people are also in such a place that they can't work. So if she is okay enough to go on this year-long tour or residency at Vegas, why is she not capable enough to run her own money? And, I am a performer. I'm obviously not even close to comparing myself to Britney, so please, dear God, don't take that. I love to act, I love to sing, I love to dance and do things on stage, and that's just who I am. I've always been in band, theater, choir. If it was a performing arts, I was in it. I loved it. I still do. Singing, music, everything, it's my passion. It's just who I am. I love doing it. And I can understand why she would go along with it for so long, because she was still being able to do what she loved. But now I feel like, it's been 12 years since this all happened. Over 12 years now, because it happened back in 2008, and we're in 2021. And it's disheartening. And I feel for you, Brittany. I wish you luck. So that is my ramble, if you will. And just, go out there, do what you love, and don't let people keep you from doing that. Have a good life in the sense of be happy. Do what makes you happy. That's what I want from all of you, whoever watches this, and I just want you to be happy. I do want to make sure that I throw out there that if anybody is having suicidal thoughts or you are concerned about somebody, there is the national hotline for you to call. There's always crisis lines and different things that you can find that are more local to help you with these things. Just please get help, but also please remember to be there. And don't judge your friends and family members or whoever it may be for asking for help, because trust me, it's a big deal for us to come to you for help.